The truck you wanted to buy disappeared overnight, and car companies are pretending it never happened. But here's the twist: they might be bringing them back. Remember when you could actually park a pickup truck in a normal parking spot? When gas didn't cost you an arm and a leg just to get to work? Compact pickups used to rule the roads. They were affordable, practical, and you didn't need a ladder to climb into them. Then suddenly they vanished. Car makers killed them off one by one, and for years, we were stuck with trucks that were bigger, heavier, and way more expensive. But something's changing. Whispers are getting louder. Spy shots are popping up. And some of these legendary small trucks might actually be coming back from the dead. In this video, we're counting down 10 compact pickups that disappeared but could be making a comeback. And trust me, some of these are going to surprise you. Before we jump in, here's a crazy stat. Only 2% of you watching this are actually subscribed to the channel. That's like having a packed football stadium with 50,000 people, but only 1,000 of them are cheering. Don't be that person sitting there in silence. Hit that subscribe button and join the 2% who actually support the channel. It takes 1 second, and it helps us keep making videos like this. Number 10. Dodge Dakota. Let's kick things off with a truck that had a cult following, the Dodge Dakota. This thing was the middle child of the pickup world, sitting right between compact and full-size. It first rolled out in 1987, and people loved it because it gave you more space than a Toyota or a Ranger, but it wasn't as bulky as a Ram 1500. You could haul stuff, tow a decent amount, and still fit in your garage. The Dakota had some serious performance chops, too. In 1989, Dodge dropped a V8 option into it, making it one of the only compact trucks you could get with that kind of power. Then in the late 90s, they released the Dakota R/T, which was basically a sports truck before sports trucks were cool. It had a 5.9-liter V8, could do 0 to 60 in under 7 seconds, and it looked mean doing it. But here's where things went south. By the 2000s, Dodge started bloating the Dakota. The second and third generations got bigger and heavier, losing that compact appeal. Sales dropped, and in 2011, Dodge pulled the plug. The Dakota was gone. Now, here's the interesting part. Stellantis, the company that owns Dodge, has been teasing a new mid-sized truck strategy. There are rumors floating around that they might revive the Dakota name, possibly on the same platform as the upcoming Ram 1500 successor. Nothing's confirmed yet, but with the mid-sized truck market heating up again, bringing back the Dakota would make a lot of sense. People want something smaller than a full-size Ram, but tougher than a crossover. The Dakota could fill that gap perfectly. Number 9. Chevrolet S10. If you grew up in the 80s or 90s, you knew someone who had an S10. It was everywhere. Chevy launched the S10 in 1982 as one of the first American compact trucks, and it became a huge hit. It was cheap, reliable, and you could beat the hell out of it without worrying too much. High school parking lots were filled with these things. The S10 had a simple formula. Give people a basic truck that doesn't cost a fortune. You could get it in regular cab, extended cab, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and with different bed lengths. It wasn't fancy, but it worked. Chevy even made performance versions like the S10 Extreme and the SS, which had lowered suspensions and sportier looks. Then there was the ZR2 off-road package, which turned the S10 into a legit trail truck. Sales were strong for years, but by the mid-2000s, the S10 started feeling outdated. The interior was cheap, the ride was rough, and competitors like the Toyota Tacoma were eating its lunch. In 2004, Chevy replaced it with the Colorado, which was bigger and more refined. The S10 was dead. But here's the thing, Chevy's been watching the market. Ford brought back the Ranger. Toyota still dominates with a Tacoma. And there's a growing demand for smaller, more affordable trucks again. GM has already confirmed they're working on a new generation of compact trucks, and while they'll probably stick with the Colorado name, there's chatter about possibly bringing back the S10 badge for a smaller, cheaper model. Think of it as the truck for people who don't need a Colorado but want something more capable than a crossover. It could work, especially if they price it right. Number 8. GMC Sonoma. The Sonoma was basically the S10's twin, but with a GMC badge. It launched in 1991 and gave buyers a slightly more upscale option in the compact truck world. Same bones as the S10, but GMC marketed it as the professional-grade choice. It had similar engine options, similar trims, and even similar performance models like the Cyclone and Typhoon, which were absolute monsters, by the way. The Cyclone was a turbocharged, all-wheel drive beast that could smoke sports cars off the line. It did 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds, which was insane for a truck in 1991. Only about 3,000 were made, and now they're collector's items. The Typhoon was the SUV version based on the Jimmy, and it was just as fast. But like the S10, the Sonoma started to feel old by the early 2000s. In 2004, GMC replaced it with the Canyon, and the Sonoma name disappeared. Since then, the Canyon has done okay, but it's never quite captured the same blue-collar charm the Sonoma had. Now, with GMC pushing its premium image, there's talk they might bring back a smaller truck under the Sonoma name. The idea would be to slot it below the Canyon, offering a more affordable entry point into the GMC truck lineup. It's all speculation right now, but GMC's been filing trademark renewals for old names, and the Sonoma is one of them. If they do bring it back, it'll probably be more modern and refined than the old one, but the nostalgia factor alone could sell a ton of trucks. Number 7. Isuzu Hombre. Okay, this one's a bit obscure, but stick with me. The Isuzu Hombre was a rebadged Chevy S10 that Isuzu sold from 1996 to 2000. It was part of a partnership between GM and Isuzu, and honestly, most people didn't even know it existed. It looked nearly identical to the S10, had the same engines, and was built in the same factory. The only real difference was the Isuzu badge on the grille. Isuzu was trying to get a foothold in the American truck market, but the Hombre never caught on. Sales were weak, and by 2000, Isuzu gave up and pulled out of the truck game in the US. They eventually stopped selling passenger vehicles here altogether by 2009. So why is the Hombre on this list? Because Isuzu has been hinting at a comeback. They've been spotted testing new trucks, and there are rumors they might return to the US market with a small pickup to compete with the Ranger and Tacoma. If they do, bringing back the Hombre name could be a smart nostalgia play. It's a long shot, but weirder things have happened in the auto industry. Number 6. Mazda B-Series. The Mazda B-Series was another badge-engineered truck, this time a rebadged Ford Ranger. Mazda and Ford had a partnership for decades, and the B-Series was part of that deal. It first showed up in the US in 1972, and for years, it was a solid option for people who wanted a small truck with a Japanese nameplate. The B-Series was reliable, affordable, and practical. It came in different configurations, and you could even get it with a rotary engine in some markets, which was wild. But in the US, most people just saw it as a Ford Ranger with a Mazda badge, and that hurt sales. Why pay the same price for a Mazda when you could get a Ford? By the early 2000s, Mazda sales were tanking, and in 2009, they discontinued the B-Series in the US. Ford kept selling the Ranger until 2011, but the Mazda version was gone. Here's where it gets interesting. Mazda's been making noise about getting back into trucks. They've been developing new models for markets like Thailand and Australia, and there's speculation they might bring a new small truck to the US. If they do, reviving the B-Series name could help them tap into nostalgia and stand out in a crowded market. Plus, with the success of Ford's new Ranger, Mazda might see an opportunity to ride that wave again. Number 5. Nissan Hardbody. The Nissan Hardbody is a legend. It got its nickname from its super tough, ribbed bed design, and it became known as one of the most reliable trucks you could buy. Nissan sold it from 1986 to 1997 in the US, and it built a reputation for lasting forever. People would drive these things into the ground, and they just kept going. The Hardbody was simple, no frills, and affordable. It wasn't fancy, but it was dependable. You could get it in two-wheel or four-wheel drive, with different bed and cab configurations, and it was popular with contractors, landscapers, and anyone who needed a basic work truck. It also had a cult following in the off-road community because it was light, nimble, and easy to modify. In 1998, Nissan replaced the Hardbody with the Frontier, which was bigger and more modern. The Frontier's done well over the years, but it's grown in size and price. That's left a gap in the market for a smaller, cheaper truck. Nissan's been talking about launching a new affordable truck for emerging markets, and there's buzz they might bring it to the US as well. If they do, bringing back the Hardbody name would be a genius move. It's got instant credibility and a loyal fan base. Plus, with the rise of electric vehicles, Nissan could even make it an electric truck and market it as the ultimate work vehicle for city use. The Hardbody could be back, and it might be cooler than ever. Number 4. Ford Ranger Original. Wait, didn't the Ranger already come back? Yes, but hear me out. The Ranger that Ford brought back in 2019 is not the same Ranger that disappeared in 2011. The old Ranger was a true compact truck, small, light, and affordable. The new Ranger is basically a mid-sized truck that competes with the Tacoma and Colorado. It's bigger, heavier, and more expensive. The original Ranger was a legend. It launched in 1983 and became America's best-selling compact truck for years. It was everywhere. You could get it in a million different configurations, and it was cheap enough that even broke college students could afford one. It was the ultimate budget truck. Ford killed it in 2011 because they thought Americans only wanted big trucks. For 8 years, there was no Ranger in the US, even though Ford kept selling it in other countries. Then in 2019, they brought it back, but it was a totally different truck. Bigger, more expensive, and aimed at a different buyer. Now, here's the rumor. Ford might be working on an even smaller truck to sit below the Ranger. Some reports call it the Ranger Raptor. Others say it could be a revival of the Courier name, which Ford used for a small truck in the 70s and 80s. The idea is to offer something truly compact again, something closer in size to the old Ranger. If Ford does this, it could dominate the entry-level truck market. People are hungry for affordable, small trucks again, and Ford knows it. Number 3. Toyota Hilux. Hold on, the Hilux never went away, right? Technically, yes, but not in the US. The Toyota Hilux is one of the most famous trucks in the world. It's sold in over 180 countries, it's known for being indestructible, and it's the truck of choice in war zones, deserts, and remote jungles. Top Gear even tried to kill one, and it survived being drowned, set on fire, and dropped from a crane. But here's the kicker. Toyota doesn't sell the Hilux in the US. Instead, we get the Tacoma, which is basically the Hilux's bigger, softer cousin. The Tacoma is great, but it's not the same. The Hilux is simpler, tougher, and more utilitarian. It's the truck you want if you actually need to work. For years, American truck fans have been begging Toyota to bring the Hilux here. And there are signs it might actually happen. Toyota's been testing diesel versions of the Hilux in the US, and there's speculation they could offer it as a cheaper alternative to the Tacoma. With the rise of budget-conscious buyers and the demand for simpler trucks, the Hilux could finally make its US debut. If Toyota does bring it here, it would be a game-changer. The Hilux has a legendary reputation, and American buyers would eat it up. Plus, it would give Toyota 2 truck options: the Hilux for budget buyers and contractors, and the Tacoma for people who want more comfort and tech. Number 2. Mitsubishi Mighty Max. The Mitsubishi Mighty Max, also known as the L200 in other markets, was a scrappy little truck that punched above its weight. It was sold in the US from 1983 to 1996, and it was known for being reliable, affordable, and surprisingly capable. It wasn't flashy, but it got the job done. The Mighty Max came in 2-wheel and 4-wheel drive, and you could even get a turbo diesel version in some years, which was rare for compact trucks back then. It was popular with small business owners and people who needed a cheap work truck. It also had a cool name, which didn't hurt. But by the mid-90s, Mitsubishi sales were struggling in the US, and they discontinued the Mighty Max in 1996. They kept making the L200 for other markets, but it never came back to America. Mitsubishi eventually stopped selling cars in the US altogether, focusing instead on SUVs. Now, here's the wild part. Mitsubishi's been talking about a comeback. They've been developing new trucks for global markets, and there's chatter they might return to the US truck market with a new small pickup. If they do, reviving the Mighty Max name would be a smart move. It's got nostalgia, it's memorable, and it could help Mitsubishi stand out in a crowded field. It's a long shot, but if Mitsubishi's serious about competing in the US again, a new Mighty Max could be their ticket back in. Number 1. Volkswagen Rabbit Pickup. This is the wild card. The Volkswagen Rabbit Pickup, also called the Caddy in some markets, was a tiny truck based on the Golf hatchback. It was sold in the US from 1979 to 1983, and it was weird, but in the best way possible. The Rabbit Pickup was small, fuel-efficient, and handled like a car because, well, it basically was a car with a bed. It wasn't meant for heavy hauling or off-roading. It was for people who wanted the practicality of a truck without the size and cost of a traditional pickup. It was perfect for city driving, and it got great gas mileage. But America wasn't ready for it. Sales were weak, and VW pulled it from the market in 1983. For decades, the Rabbit Pickup was just a quirky footnote in automotive history. Fast forward to today, and the market's completely different. People want small, efficient vehicles again. Electric trucks are taking off. And VW has already announced they're developing an electric version of the Caddy for Europe. There are rumors they might bring it to the US as well, possibly under the Rabbit Pickup name. If VW does this, it could create a whole new category, the urban electric mini truck. Imagine a small, affordable, electric pickup that's perfect for city deliveries, contractors, or just people who want something practical and fun. It could compete with vehicles like the Ford Maverick, but with a European twist. The Rabbit Pickup could be back, and it might be the most forward-thinking truck on this list. So there you have it, 10 compact pickups that vanished but might actually be coming back. Some of these are more likely than others, but the truth is, the market's changing. People are tired of giant, expensive trucks. They want something smaller, more affordable, and more practical. And car companies are finally starting to listen. Whether it's the Dakota, the S10, the Hilux, or even the Rabbit Pickup, the return of compact trucks could be one of the coolest trends in the auto industry over the next few years. If you want to see what other vehicles are making a comeback, check out the video popping up on your screen right now.